In this session, we're going to have a look at how to purge old versions of projects. So, click on the Manage menu and choose Purge. A window will appear and show you all the different projects you have access to and the number of versions you may want to keep of those projects. Now on DocHaven, by default, it keeps the last 10 of every project that you go to put away. It's a floating window, so once you've got 10, it starts then keeping between 11 and 2 and 13 and 3, that sort of thing. So it keeps the last 10 versions of the projects as you put them away. And so hopefully after a while you should plateau in terms of the amount of space you're using on the cloud. But if you find that you were reaching your limit, or you wanted to get rid totally of certain projects, there are different ways that you can do it. The best way is to use this Purge projects here. Now, down the bottom you can see how many versions you may want to keep. So as I said, you have 10 by default. It's set up with that you may want to drop that down to 5 or down to, desperately down to the last one. If you actually wanted to remove a project entirely from the system, then you can set the number of versions to keep to be 0. Now what that's going to make sure you have a backup of that first, either through the backup capability or through export. Because once it's removed from the system, if you do set it to versions of 0, markers deleted, it will be entirely removed from the cloud. Anyway, what it's going to do is it's going to have a look at the different projects we've got set up here, and not only, whichever one we've specified, not only will it remove them off the server, but it'll actually mark that project as a deleted project. That's part of the status that we saw in Inspector. Okay, now I don't want to do that. I'm going to move that off back to, say, for example, 2 projects. Now the question is, how many do we want to, which projects do we actually want to work on? If you find you've got certain projects that are very large in size and you're keeping the last 10 versions of them, you can purge down a particular project. Now you can see here all of the different projects that we've got, where we've got the latest, we've got 4 projects there, 4 versions of the one project. There's no point purging these other ones down here. You can even purge and remove ones which have no versions saved onto the server. Like this smart project, there's no reason why to get rid of that totally off the system, even though none are put up there, but to have it marked as deleted, you could actually choose that one and set it marked as deleted. Okay, so what we would do, for example, if we wanted to purge it down and just keep the last 2 on the server, so that maybe mean that you've got 2 on the server, and if you've got it out, you've actually got a 3rd version there as well. Then you could choose 2 and choose that particular project, whatever it may be. Or you may want to go, look, amongst all of my projects, all the ones that I own, I want to cut them all down. However many there are, instead of having to do them individually, I want to just get all of them down to just keeping the last 2 versions. If you are a group manager, you look after a whole group of people's projects, what you can do is purge all the people within a group, within this particular group. That's the only one I have access to here. And that way it'll go through not only yours but other people who are in that group that you manage and purge them down so that they only have the latest 2 versions. If you are an overall manager of the system, this wouldn't be great. That in fact you would have the option to be able to purge everybody on the whole system, not just those you have group access to, and reduce them down to a certain amount as well. But we don't have access to that here. Now let's give that a try here. Let's just choose one particular project, and in this case membership details. I'll make sure that that's highlighted there, otherwise we would have chosen the wrong one. Membership details, we have 4 versions at the moment. I want it to remove 2 of them so that we're down to just 2 versions. Okay, the way that we begin that is we click on Purge here, and you'll see the transfer window appears. You can see the purge showing up there. It runs, it'll log in and remove those particular projects. It'll physically
finish purge one project of membership details.
It physically deletes them from the server and updates their version numbers so that that we know how many they've got left on there. Now, even if you had a project out, as in this smart project here, it is able to purge the projects, and the reason for that is because it's purging from the bottom. It's purging the latest ones, sorry, the oldest ones first, the smallest number ones first, and keeping the latest ones. So so that's how even projects that are out are able to be purged. Okay, so that is how to purge projects within DocHaven. Thank you very much, and goodbye.